back to the Opie Pro Surfing Championships from Huntington Beach.
Glenn Winton and Martin Potter, they're in the bottom half of the bracket. Glenn Winton is a good surfer. He's got a good floating style, a lot of speed, big outside moves. He's going to do well out of here because he'll make the connection to the inside section. Martin Potter is one of the most spectacular surfers in the world today. He'll be doing some incredible maneuvers on the outside section.
Two world-class surfers in the finals for the women today, Ian.
Well, we sure do. Frida Zamba won the world title twice, and Pam Burridge runner-up twice. So Pam, I think, is surfing fantastically. She's surfing.
You know, it's the people that attend the Opie Pro Surfing Championship that make it what it is, and Dave Stanfield is on the beach with some of them right now.
I don't see Bob Euchre, but this is front row, and we've got some pretty good seats here, don't we? Who's this?
Petra.
Petra? Beautiful name. Now, Petra's got a good position here, and she's got a purse, and she's really close to the high tide line, and she wants photos, so she's got a waterproof camera, because the waves are going to get big later on this afternoon. Who's this?
Stephanie.
Stephanie. Now, you've been here for the last couple hours, haven't you?
Yeah, last couple days.
The last couple of days. She hasn't moved from this spot. Who's your favorite surfer out there?
Tom Curran, definitely.
Why?
Because he's cute.
Because he's cute. Well, most of the guys think he's surf radical. The girls here, they think he's cute. You know he's married, though.
I know, but his wife is in France right now.
You stay classy, San Diego.
Curran off the top, a tremendous re-entry on the outside. We'll see if Curran can bring this wave through the flat spot in the middle of the wave. Seems to be a nice ball of white water there, mate.
Well, Tom knows how to zigzag and work his way inside and outside. You see him go back and forth, complete board control. He's going to work it on to the shore break. If you can, you need to get tubed. You need to be covered up by water, and if you can't do that, look for a nice ring.
Here it is.
He's tubed. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Went inside the green room and came right out the other side.
Well, that was really a tremendous tube right there. The crowd loves those right on the inside section. There's no doubt about it. That is the kind of wave that Tommy Curran needs to score if he wants to make it through. He was able to keep that movement going in the intermediate section of the wave. Wherever there's a little ripple, Tom turns onto that. He uses that curve on the wave face to push off, sort of like skiing down a slope. You push off the moguls. It's just like that in surfing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Huntington Beach, California, and the Opie Pro Surfing Championship. The top surfers in the world competing on a beautiful, sunny Southern California day. We're joining the first semifinal heat in progress. Tom Curran up against defending champ Mark Occhilupo.
And up on the outside, Mark Occhilupo, Mike.
He goes backside and works the whitewater just perfectly. A rooster tail about 12 feet flies into the air. Nice re-entry off the top, and he fights the whitewater one more time. Now his job is to work this whitewater into the shore if he can at all.
Well, he should be able to, Mike. There's a little bit of a curve on the bottom of that wave face.
Occhi doing everything he can to rack up the points through this section. Ian, he needs every maneuver he can to beat Curran.
Well, this is really a 1-2 matchup here. Occhilupo getting the great inside section. He's going to go into the barrel and inside. Covered up for Occhilupo.
Now, those are the types of high-scoring maneuvers that the judges are looking for. Occhilupo combining a string of off-the-lips, cutbacks, and even cover-up maneuvers on the inside. We'll try and give you a little background as to what these phrases mean in terms of the action. Let's take a look at the replay and a couple of the maneuvers we're talking about. Here you see what's called an off-the-lip, actually banking off the face of the wave. And here you see a tube ride or a barrel ride. He's actually covered up by the wave momentarily. Ian, there's an interesting thing taking place right now. We're in a virtual tie in this heat between Occhi and Tom Curran. They're racing right now for that orange fluorescent-colored buoy. Talk about what's going on.
Well, they're racing to the priority buoy. The person who gets around that buoy first will have first priority, which means in the dying minutes of this heat, he will have first choice of the best wave coming through. And they're racing as hard as they can. Whoever gets around that will get the best wave and possibly win the heat.
Tom Curran, I think, is going to win the race to the buoy. He will have priority.
Well, let's have a look up the top here, see what the judges have got. They've given it to Red.
They've given
Curran
it to
has given it. Curran. Occhilupo.
Oh, the crowd doesn't quite agree with it, but Mark Occhilupo right now will have first priority on the wave, the net set coming through.
Certainly,
great for Occhi.
Certainly a neck-and-neck battle, that paddle race there, but, you know, Occhilupo now is sitting in the box seat, but if Occhi misses a wave, Curran then has priority.
Well, it was an issue. You don't see that happen all that often. Most of the surfing excitement is based on the wave itself. The crowd comes alive for the race to the buoy.
Well, they sure do. This is within the last 5 minutes of the heat. One wave may come through. Akalupo can pick it off at his leisure.
Well, as we take a look at the current world champion, let's look back at an interview that Dave Stanfield had with Tom earlier.
Tommy, let's talk about the OP Pro. How important is it? Obviously, you come through every year with a stellar performance, but it's got to be much more than people realize.
Well, I think you could consider it the most important contest so far this year. Definitely, it's double the points and double the money. But people always, the professionals always come up with their best performances for this event, and you can really see it out there.
Is it because of the crowd? Is it because, although it's really not your home break, it's the biggest contest in Southern California?
I guess so, yeah. I guess people back me up because I'm from California. It's just a high performance wave as well, and that's part of the reason. You have the big shore break on the inside, and it's real exciting, and you can set up and do a real big maneuver on the inside, and that's another reason why it's so successful.
Huntington Beach is indeed a great venue for championship surfing. Well, Tom Curran, who did not have priority, took the first wave, almost runs over a water cameraman, working the water inside and out. Once again, he's in the whitewater, what surfers will call the soup. His priority right now is to work this to the shore break. Tom may not have time to get out and catch another wave as the semifinal is coming to a close. The Andy's working into the shore break. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm going to eat my words. He works it into the shore break.
He brings it right into the shore break, Mike. He needs something big inside here. A big re-entry, beautiful re-entry right on the inside. The crowd loves it, but let's bring this into perspective. That was a smaller wave. It was, even though he worked real hard, did good stuff on it, it was a smaller wave, and the wave has a lot to do with the score.
And look what's happening outside. Mark Akalupo drops in, makes his bottom turn, shoots under the white water. A nice drop-in re-entry. Look at this little snapback that he's going to perform.
Well, big maneuvers outside, a lot of speed, flow down the line. This is going to be the wave that's going to put the nail on the coffin for Akalupo, I tell you.
Well, the only thing that could go wrong, should he make a mistake here and maybe not bring it into the shore, perhaps even hardly ever happens, but should he fall or whatever. But anyway, here he comes. Mark Akalupo, the defending OP champion, trying to work the short break. Look at him pump it.
He's pumping hard. He's working really hard, and he is going to do it. He is going to make it in there. Another re-entry. And finishing the waves off cleanly.
That ends the first semifinal heat between the #1 surfer in the world, Tom Curran, and the OP defending champion, Mark Akalupo. We await the judge's decision. And while we wait, let's take a look back at the Miss OP Beauty Contest held earlier. OP Beauty Contest. We'll take a look at the 10 finalists a little later and see which one is crowned Miss OP as we start semifinal number 2. And let's go down to Dave Stanfield, who's with Mark Akalupo, awaiting the judge's decision for his heat with Tom Curran. Listen.
7.6. Here's your score. This guy's on a roll. Akalupo now has done the impossible.
From Durban, South Africa, out in the water right now, and he's surfing against Glenn Whitten. So let's turn our attention to that semifinal. And this is Mr. Potter taking off right now. Drops to the bottom and comes up the top. He's going to come off, and no, he loses control. Falls head first into the white water, and he grabs his board cord, reels it back on in, and Martin Potter will have to paddle back out. It's a 10-wave maximum. You're judged on your 4 best.
We have Glenn Winton on a wave that's way down the beach, but it looks like a fantastic right-hander.
Mr. X, Kenny for being in the right place at the right time. Winton turned pro back in 1978, and he's working a part of the beach that we don't see too often used in the Pro Surfing Championships. But it's working for him right now, Ian. He has made that inside connection.
And Winton brings this wave all the way through to the shore break. There's the cover up in the barrel here.
Yeah. Oh.
Incredible. Right the way through to the inside, and a great cover up.
So Mr. X will grab his surfboard, head back for the pier, and he will paddle out. And as he does so, he sees Martin Potter coming right at him. He paddles, takes off, makes a turn, says, look at this, Mr. X.
And on the outside is Martin Potter doing a big flutter re-entry, a rebound again.
Well, Martin Potter, what I call one of the most symmetrical surfers in the business, always in the right place at the right time. And here he comes, working the white water back and forth, side to side, S to S.
Look at Martin Potter pumping this wave, backwards and forwards across the flat spot. No normal surfer can get through that, Mike.
Here it is again. I see another cover-up coming on. Is he going to come out the other side? Yes, he is. And the crowd explodes.
Fantastic. The crowd's got good reason to be exploding with excitement. Two great waves, opening waves of the heat. Just incredible performance.
Well, that was a great wave exchange, no doubt about it. Martin Potter and Glenn Winton going head-to-head in their semifinal. Welcome back to Huntington Beach, California, and the Opie Pro Surfing Championship, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mike Chamberlain, along with Ian Cairns and Dave Stanfield, and we are in the second men's semifinal heat. Martin Potter against Glenn Winton, and it's going to be Martin Potter up and riding on the outside.
Well, that was a tremendous late takeoff by Martin Potter and up over the whitewater in a very, very difficult re-entry, but it doesn't look like it's going to make that connection all the way through, Mike.
Well, this is a good chance to talk about Martin Potter. Earlier, I alluded to the fact that he was from South Africa, when indeed he was born in England, Ian. And on the outside, it's Glenn Winton. He drops in, gets a big cover-up right off the bat.
A beautiful cover-up maneuver there.
Well, here we go again, and this is Martin Potter going backside, comes off the top of the lift. His fluorescent trunks flying in the white water, cuts back again. It's a zigzag and a zigzag and this and that. Martin Potter just working it over, trying to bring it on into the short break. Is he going to do it, or is he going to run out of motor power? Well, he continues to flow, continues to go for the beach. Martin Potter is going to make the connection into the short break, and now his job is, as he jumps up and down, to get tubed on the inside. Will he do it? He drops inside to a little bit of white water. He'll make a move off the top here, and he'll call it quits as he steps off to the sand in the Pacific Ocean. Martin Potter surfing his brains out here at Huntington Beach today. You could tell he was working under a surfing handicap. He is wearing a brace on his right knee.
Well, that's Glenn Winton up and riding again, getting a great move off the outside, and this is what Glenn's good at. He's good at pumping up the speed and making something out of nothing across this middle section.
Well, they call Glenn Winton Mr. X, and Ian, real quickly, why don't you can explain why they call him Mr. X?
Well, he came from a little town called Nora Heads, about 200 miles north of Sydney. Came out of the bush, call him a bush bunny, and no one really knew much about him for a long time. He didn't talk much, but I tell you what, he's really eloquent with his surfing, as you can see with that shore break cover-up.
Well, his surfing certainly does speak for itself, Ian. The countdown to the end of the heat is in progress, and there's the horn. It now remains for the judges to determine who will meet Mark Akalupo in the finals. Will it be Martin Potter or Glenn Winton? We're going to take a look now at the women's competition. Pacific Ocean, Ian, the tide is out at the moment, and the waves have decreased in size a bit, but they still have good power and maneuvering potential.
And up and riding, we have Frida Zamba. Looks like she has a wave that may have potential to connect, and she's keeping the flow going, bouncing it up and down, trying to stay on the section that's going to bring it all the way in, but just can't do it.
Ian, while we have a moment, let's update the competition for our viewers. It was announced that Glenn Winton narrowly defeated Martin Potter in their semifinal heat, so Winton will meet Akalupo in the final.
Pam Burridge up and riding, a little bit shaky, going over some chop on that takeoff, but it looks like she may have it together now, and she's really going off that wave, trying to go up the white water, and the whole intent here seems to be to maximize the speed so she can make the connection right the way into the shore break. It looks like she's going to do that, Mike.
Well, that's the truth. The key word here is making the connection. She did to the shore break. She'll look for a small tube, perhaps inside, looking for a radical maneuver as she makes it to the shore break and just ran out of speed. Well, we got Frida Zamba in wave position outside, and she is up. Will she go left or right? She goes backside and is immediately closed out, but she'll stay with the white water, and as Ian says, try and make the connection, if at all possible, to the shore break.
Well, you can see she's going down prone, so the white water doesn't knock her off, but you can lose speed by doing that, and I think she made a little error on the outside, not going left. but she is going to get this extra distance. She's jumping up and down, trying to push the board onto the inside. The wave's doubling up, and she is not able to make it.
They're having a problem making the connection.
And paddling on the outside peak there, we have Pam Burridge up and riding. She's going to go to the right, try and maneuver. The white water coming up over her, pulling it back into the section. She still needs another wave to bring all the way through.
I don't know, Ian. I think she's going to run out of steam again. She's just not making this connection. As she's trying hard, maybe she'll dip the nose of her board into it, but no, she's going to kick out. Paddle back out. Too bad for Pam. She needed a big wave, as Ian said. The pressure has been returned to her shoulders. Well, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more surfing and the Miss OP winner in a moment. Welcome back to the OP Pro Surfing Championship. We're rejoining the women's final in progress. As I look outside, it's Frida Zamba. She's up and at it. Makes a nice bottom turn, comes up to the top of the lip. No major maneuver at the top. And look at this. She does a re-entry and rides the whitewater in. She could get the connection on this one, Ian. Well, got some board speed up.
She certainly was taking it a little bit easier on the outside there, doing a couple of nice maneuvers, flicking out now. But Frida had a 3.1 in her scoring. All she needs is a 5.6 or 5.1 even to get in the lead, and that may be just the wave that did it.
Boy, down to the final seconds, and look at Pam Burridge found a wave outside. Talk about feeding the wire. She's going to work it underneath and bring it inside. She's in the soup in the whitewater. She's just flat out going to run out of gas, and didn't work. Maybe Frida won the big wave. That could have been the decisive wave.
And a big wave on the outside. Pam could have been on that wave. Let me tell you, Mike, at the end of that heat, that last little flurry of Frida Zamba, that may be the wave that took the title off Pam Burridge. And Pam trying to answer back, and she couldn't get the reform all the way through. It seems to be the reform in the women's heat that's making the big difference.
Well, it got down to the final seconds. Now we await the judges' decision. They are calculating and tabulating, and we will have the results of the women's final at this, the OP Pro Surfing Championship, in a moment. Dave Stanfield is on the beach right now with Tom Curran. Let's go down to them. David?
Tommy, you've had a little time to reflect on that last heat with Opie. I personally thought it was the paddle race, and then you being kind of pressured into taking a wave that wasn't that good with about 2 minutes left.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I had to take anything I could get. If I would have been left out there with nothing at all, then it would have been over since he was in the lead at the time. Unfortunately, he had a good set wave after that, and that's where it ended.
Looking back at the very beginning of the heat, you guys definitely met blow to blow. What was the turning point? What did you think was your best wave that might have sewed it up for you? Was it that tube ride on the inside?
Yeah, that was my best wave. I didn't really have too much of a backup to support that. I had a couple of waves that were okay that I could have used as some of my best four waves, but I didn't have a real winning wave count.
Tommy Curran, the world champion, and he's well on his way, still leading in the points race as they head down to Brazil.
So Tom Curran is still in fine shape overall, even though he's through for the day here. And there is your women's champion. It's been announced. Frida Zamba barely defeats Pam Burridge.
Well, the final word, as you said, it was real close. 2 judges for both surfers. 1 judge tied. And they went back and they went instead of the best 4 to 3 waves. And Frida Zamba, with that last ride all the way in, took the title.
Well, she won it here in 1984. She does it again in 1986. Congratulations to Frida. She also goes home with a check today worth $2,500.
Well, she's really excited, and that puts her off on a big start for this year's World Crown.
Ian, while Mark Akalupo and Glenn Winton prepare for their final matchup, let's return to our beauty contest look back. The 10 finalists, one of which will be the next Miss OP.
I think you know what happened to. Well, I fell in love with you, and I know what else will do. I saw you, and then you broke my heart in two. For you to knock on your door, you just wanna see me the more. I can't go on without, I can't go on without you. I can't go on without, I can't go on.
runner-up for Miss OP 1986 will be contestant number 8, Leslie Bremer. Second runner-up. All right, our second runner-up. Poor man, first runner-up. The first runner-up is from Phoenix, Arizona, Brooke Lynn. All right, our title for Miss OP this year is contestant number 4, Brenda Michelle. Brenda Michelle. Is she happy? Yes. Miss OP for the year 1986-87 as our surfing season goes over the New Year's Eve. And a big kiss for Brenda Michelle, our winner. Let's have a hand for Miss OP 1986-87. Brenda Michelle, let's have a hand for all of our contestants and all of our runners-up. Congratulations. All right, thank you very much, everybody. Let's have all the girls give a wave.
Welcome back. I'm Mike Chamberlain with Ian Cairns, and I'm sure collectively together we offer our congratulations to Frida Zamba, the winner of the women's division. But right now in the water, it's the men's finalist, Mr. X against Opie. Talk about both these guys, Ian.
Well, Glenn Winton, commonly known as Mr. X, is really an incredible surfer. But his forte is going to be bringing the wave all the way through that flat spot with a lot of speed and doing something on the inside. Whereas to contrast that, Akalupo is going to be on the outside doing the giant maneuvers on the outside section. Whoever can do his particular thing the best today is going to win this final.
I'll tell you, and the winner today goes home with $8,000. Runner-up, not a bad day surfing either. The runner-up goes home with $4 grand. Of course, at stake, 2,000 points on the ASP Tour. Let's go out to the water. Hey, here's a shot you don't see too often in surfing from the Goodyear Blimp, piloted by Captain Tom Mattis.
Well, up and riding on the first wave of the final, Mike, is Glenn Winton, a tremendous outside peak.
Well, we're off and running. Glenn wasted little time. The heat only about 30 seconds old. He saw a big swell coming through, took advantage. Now tries to work his way into the shore break and make the connection. I don't know, Ian, he may run out of gas, but these guys know how to do it. They know how to direct their division of their weight, the distribution, and now he has found the shore break, and he's going to work it inside.
Well, this is Winton's forte. Maintaining the speed and flow right across the inside section, up into a big re-entry, and that's a tremendous starting ride for Glenn Winton. Great outside maneuvers, an incredible link up to the inside section, a nice little finishing clean re-entry on the inside shore break.
So Mr. X off and running, but outside, Aki sees a swell coming through. He looks in good position, and he's going to line up for it, and he saw what Mr. X did on the first wave, and now he knows he must come back. And here it is, a nice-looking wave. I assume he'll drop in, and he's got a nice-looking formation outside. Takes off, bottom turn, comes off the top, and explodes. Finds the next section, works his way in. His board just flailing through the white water, comes out the other side, comes off the lip one more time. He's going to have to bring it into the wave. Ian, we have got a beautiful wave underway here for Mark Akalupo.
We certainly have, and that last re-entry, notice how he jumped onto his front foot. He was directing all his power and speed down the face of the wave in the attempt to bring it to the shore break, and he's just unsuccessful. Even though he didn't make it all the way inside, Mike, that was a great long wave with many big maneuvers on the outside section. I would hesitate to say that those two waves are very similar in their scoring potential.
Similar indeed, Ian, and a great way for both surfers to start off the OP Pro Final. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more surfing. Don't go away. We are back at the OP Pro Surfing Championships, the men's finals, Glenn Winton and Mark Akalupo.
And Akalupo up and riding on a tremendous wave on the outside.
He's screaming off the top of this. Look at that maneuver. Rooster tail, 12 feet in the water. Look at the set building outside. Akalupo works it inside, and look outside. Mr. X is going to drop in. We've got a wave exchange going on. Akalupo working inside. Look at the bank off the top of the outside set by Glenn Winton.
Well, this is really going to be a tremendous exchange here. Akalupo bringing his wave all the way to the inside shore break after doing an incredible re-entry on the outside, and Winton right behind him with all his speed and flow across that section. Akalupo down on the inside, Winton building up more and more speed, amping up, and we're going to see something incredible on the inside here from Winton.
I think we're going to see some tubing action here. He's going to dip, and he's in it. Comes out the other side, just feet from the Huntington Beach air.
incredible. In and out of that barrel. Amazing section. And you caught it. We're going to see something great. Tube action. And Winton waved to the crowd before he went into that barrel.
You know, I had a thought earlier. Tommy Curran not in the finals. I said, oh, that's too bad. Maybe the crowd won't feel it. But they have become electrified with the surfing between Winton and Akalupo right now. And they paddle back out for their third wave.
Whoever can do his particular thing the best today is going to win this final.
You know, that's a good observation, Ian. Glenn Winton, here he is paddling back out at the end. Winton is a great surfer, hungry for his first OP Pro title. Mark Akalupo, the defending champ, wants to keep that title. Well, we've got a surfer up and at it, and that's Mark Akalupo. Look at him pound off the top of the whitewater. Miniature floating maneuver there. A stall at the top that time. Watch this maneuver. Up the top, back into the whitewater, leaves a trail of whitewater about 12 feet behind him. The idea now is for Mark to work this wave to the inside. As we said before, this is the new vanguard of surfer. The short, squatty guy with a low center of gravity cannot make his connection. He'll paddle out and try it all over again. Now to continue what I was trying to say before, Ian, Akalupo's the defending champion. Winton's hungry for the title. Both are excellent surfers. They have to surf the same waves. Whoever can use his talents, his specialties to the best advantage today is going to go on to win this contest. This is Winton going backside. He's the goofy footer out there. So is Akalupo right now. But here he is trying to make the connection into the short break. And he's got not a lot to work with. You can see him pumping, trying to get the board speed up, trying to get the nose of the board into that water. But he can't do it. He has to kick out at the short break. In the outside, that's Opie paddling. If he drops in, this is a winner of a wave. And he does. Comes off the bottom and hits the top of the wave with power and aggression. Cuts back inside. Now he's got a little bit of white water to work with. He goes left side, looks over towards the pier, trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do with this wave. But what he wants to do is ride it all the way to the shore. That's what the judges are looking for. Mark Akalupo weaving his way into that wave like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, but he can't do it. He pulls out. Mark Akalupo takes a head dip.
Glenn Winton up and riding a beautiful right-hander. Big re-entry, but he couldn't handle it.
Oh, and down he goes, Ian. You know, you don't see these guys wipe out too often, and you've got to wonder, could Winton be tiring? He's had to surf all through the day, through the quarterfinals, through the semifinal heats, and now the finals. He's got to be feeling fatigue. On the other hand, Aki feeling very strong, an iron constitution and stamina. Perhaps he can withstand the physical punishment longer. This is Mark Akalupo off the bottom. Watch him rise to the top. This guy's got more moves than Beacons and Mayflower combined. Look at him fight the whitewater. This would be a good chance to make a connection. Ride the soup, or the whitewater as they call it, inside. Meanwhile, outside, it is Glenn Winton dropping in, going backside. Going to come off the top, and he loses control again. I can't believe it. It is two in a row. Mark Akalupo working the inside break. This is what the fans love. You almost lost control of it. Here he comes. Here comes the big bottom turn. He's going to get covered in two. Mark Akalupo, the defending Opie champion, ignites the crowd here at Huntington Beach. And you may well guess he may have won it right there. Aki knows he doesn't even have time to get out and catch another wave. He's going to come in and call it a day. And Glenn Winton has to watch the seconds tick away in the heat, having seen the wave that Aki just had, and hope that a wave will come through for him before time runs out. Let's go to Dave Stanfield with Akalupo.
Well, we got to keep a lookout there, but I'd say congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay, the energy, the confidence that you had from day one has been, what's the motivation factor?
Well, I really have been putting a lot of mental preparation into this contest for a couple of months now. Just, trying to visualise myself, and it's been, it's all paid off.
It's very difficult to defend a title like this, obviously, so you really can't think just about one contest, but you did.
Yeah, well, I have been, yeah.
Why? Why the OP? Why do you want to win it a second time, defend that title?
Well, it's such a big one, there's so many people down here, and it's in America,
Yeah.
And America's a big place, and I come over here from Australia to do work, and this one sucks me up.
Here comes Glenn. Let's watch this as we look to the outside. Aki, that was a big move.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know. Aki and I are watching this thing.
We'll have to see, though, eh?
Okay, good luck.
Okay, back to the surfing action, and we haven't heard the last of Winton.
Great inside reform. Look at Winton just slashing off the face, backwards and forwards. A big bottom turn, perfect inside reform, and Winton making the most of it from the outside to the inside shore break.
Akalupo watches anxiously from the beach. He's had a tremendous heat, but Winton has just had a great final wave and undoubtedly earned a lot of points from the judges. He's making his way to Dave Stanfield now. Let's go to them.
What a strong final wave. Do you think that sewed it up for you, possibly? You think you got the second win?
I wouldn't have a clue. I hope so, but I don't know.
Good show.
Thank you.
Glenn Winton, congratulations.
And we'll be back with the announcement of the winner in just a moment. We are back at the Opie Pro Surfing Championship, and here's the announcement of your winner, Mark Akalupo. Mark, what are your thoughts? $8,000 picture right now.
I'm so happy right now. It took a long time, but I've done it.
You sure have. Ian, you got a question?
Well, I sure do. Those big maneuvers out the back seem to be the telling edge you had.
Yeah, well, it's just that, you've got to get the crowd up on their feet and you've got to make them roar, and outside's the place to do it. I mean, there's a lot of power in the waves to do that out there.
Well, listen, back-to-back titles. Congratulations. You did it again.
Thanks a lot.
Mark Akalupo, the Opie Pro Champion for the second year in a row. Okay, thank all of you for being with us. The Huntington Beach OP is now a final, the 5th annual, and here's the winner. See you later.